Good evening. Today I'm going to be presenting a presentation about living with earthquakes in Japan. First, let's start with a quick overview about the relationship between earthquakes and Japan. Japan experiences 7,000 to 8,000 earthquakes per year, but most of them are just minor earthquakes. But about 1,500 are strong enough to be felt by people and actually cause damage. But why do you think Japan has a lot of earthquakes? The reason is Japan lies along a complex and active plate margin. In fact, 4 plate boundaries meet in the Japan area: the Eurasian plate, North American plate, Pacific plate, and the Philippine Sea plate. The jerky slippage that is caused between them causes the earthquakes to form. What is the worst earthquake that has ever occurred in Japan? It struck Tokyo in 1923. 140,000 people were killed and 600,000 homes were completely destroyed by the 8.3 magnitude earthquake. In terms of loss of life, it is the 9th most severe earthquake to ever occur in the world. To learn more about the relationship between earthquakes in Japan, let's take a closer look on one of the most recent earthquakes, which is the Kobe earthquake. It hit the industrial city of Kobe in 1995. It is 7.2 on the scale of Richter. Over 6,000 people were killed and 35,000 were injured. 300 people were made homeless because the buildings collapsed. 300 fires raged through the city because of the ruptured gas pipelines, and most of the damage was caused to Kobe's motorway, which was supposed to be actually earthquake-proof. Here's more damage that was caused by the earthquake. 1 million households had no water. Thousands of bodies lay in schools and sports centers as there was a shortage of coffins. The port of Kobe was badly hit, with over 90% of its ship berths destroyed. Many people suffered financial loss as only 3% of people were insured. Many kilometers of roads and railways were damaged. Electricity and gas networks were seriously disrupted. Nearly $100 billion worth of damage was caused. A large number of people became unemployed as damaged industries relocate outside Kobe. But how can we reduce the earthquake hazards? Here are some warning signs for earthquakes. There are slight rises or falls in the land, change in the underground water level, and strange animal behavior. But none of these methods are foolproof yet, as most earthquakes occur without any warnings. Here are some precautions to be taken. People educate themselves on what to do when an earthquake happens. Earthquake drills in Japan are common as fire drills in British schools. The city authorities plan for new bridges and buildings to be built to cope with the shaking that takes place. Provision is made for the storage of emergency supplies, all of which are needed after an earthquake. Now let's talk about tsunamis in Japan. First, what are tsunamis? Tsunamis are huge waves triggered by earthquakes. These can be up to 10 meters long, and they're easier to predict than the earthquakes that trigger them. Now let's take a closer look about the relationship between Japan and tsunamis. The Japanese Meteorological Agency monitored the sea around Japan. Within 20 minutes of the earthquake occurring, the agency issues warnings to coastal areas. These warnings, held over radios and televisions, have saved thousands of lives. How can we reduce the tsunami hazards? First, if you're at a beach or near the ocean, and you feel the earth shaking. Move immediately to higher ground. Do not wait for the tsunami warning to be announced, and stay away from the rivers and streams which are near the ocean. Second, if you live in a tsunami evacuation zone and feel the earth shake or hear a tsunami warning, make sure the whole family evacuates the house. Move in an orderly, calm, and safe manner to the evacuation site, and follow the advice of emergency authorities. Thank you and have a nice day.